Yes people, what is going on? So today is going to be a bit of a different type of video. So I'm going to go and train in a moment. I'm training legs today. It's been a great start to the week so far. I had a great session on Sunday and a great session yesterday as well. Today I want to talk to you about something that I don't think people online talk about as deeply as they should. So when you're a coach, when you're a personal trainer, we get asked pretty much the same questions over and over again. And I feel like when you're a coach, you end up saying, well, a lot of coaches end up saying the same stuff. And it doesn't actually help people out that are listening to them and asking the questions that they want the answers to. Unless you actually find a coach that actually gives a shit about you making progress, that's when you can actually get the sort of help that you need. So what we're going to talk about today, guys, is how to grow muscle. Now, of course, I'm sure if you're all watching this, and you're probably 90% of the people watching this will understand the basics of growing muscle. Okay, so we all know for a fact we have to be in a calorie surplus to be able to build muscle. Okay, so you need to be making sure that you're eating more calories than you are burning on a day-to-day basis to be able to put on muscle mass. Okay, now we all know that. But it's so easy to tell someone that and still not get the progress they're looking for. That's because, yes, your diet has to match up to your goal, but also your training. And I want to talk to you guys today about the type of training that I do to optimize growing muscle, okay? And I'll be honest with you guys, and we're going to talk a lot more about this in depth later on today. But first of all, guys, I'm going to go ahead now and head myself to the gym and smash out some legs. So let's go. Right guys, I am now on the way to the gym. Obviously got my Monster. I've been sipping on this for ages. When I like taking pre-workout, guys, so I'll probably take a pre-workout when I get to the gym. But I've been sipping on this for over an hour now, so that's kind of how I do things. I don't like to down a can of Monster and then start training, just because I feel like there's a lot of fluid. If I sip on this for over an hour and then when I get to the gym, I'll smash in a pre-workout, wait for 5-10 minutes, then I'll start training. Today's legs, I'm gonna get a bit of footage, guys, but it's not about that today. When I get back from the gym, I'll set up the camera and I'm going to talk to you guys how really the best way, or my top tips on how to grow the most muscle mass. Let's go. People. Guys, training in the bag. Now, as you can see there, guys, the amount of volume we did today, and not just the volume, obviously the amount of weight we are pressing today. Like if I was to accumulate all that together, it would be a hell of a lot of weight. And that is one of the biggest things that I would always recommend if you're trying to build muscle. You have to keep progressing in your weight, okay? So the weight that you're pressing, if you're always doing the same weight on a, let's say a squat or a bench press, you're only ever gonna get good at doing that weight, okay? So it's just like running a marathon, right? If you're only running 7 kilometers or 8 kilometers, 9 kilometers, you're only gonna get good at running 7, 8, or 9 kilometers. If you're running for a marathon, you have to start running, obviously, what is it, 26 miles, you have to actually run 26 miles to get good at running 26 miles. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. It's exactly the same when it comes to resistance training, guys. If you're not upping your weight and progressing every single week or every couple of weeks, you're not going to be able to put your muscle through a certain stimulus to be able to grow muscle mass, okay? Now, we can talk about this for hours, guys, honestly. We literally can. When you're brand new to the gym, guys, when you haven't lifted a weight before, you can actually build a little bit of muscle whilst losing body fat at the same time. But that kind of is the only time you can actually do that unless you're on steroids, okay? Let's just put it out there. Unless you're on steroids, you know, you can only build muscle and lose fat at the same time when you're brand new to the gym. Guys, I've been training for 14 years now, completely clean. I have not taken an anabolic steroid in my life. And, you know, I'm so used to training now that my body, it aches a little bit every now and again, but because I'm so used to it, it doesn't really ache that much unless I'm starting to training like I did today. Stupendous amount of volume, loads of reps and sets, a lot of weight. That's when I start to feel that I'm going to progress, okay? Now, this is just how I feel as an individual, guys. Obviously, it's going to help a lot of you guys out right now. It's going to give you a bit of an indication of what you kind of need to do to progress. But this is from my own experience, guys. And unless I'm pushing myself, you know, every time I'm in that gym, unless I'm really struggling on that last rep and like go to failure on pretty much every single exercise I do, unless you're doing the sort of accessory stuff, guys. You know, when you're doing like the tricep push downs or some face pulls and little exercises like that, obviously the amount of weight you can do on those types of exercises isn't going to be a lot, okay? So guys, I hope that information has given you you know, a lot of things to take away from it. This is the whole idea of this video, is I want you guys to understand from my point of view. I've been training for 14 years now, and I want to share with you guys kind of my tips and tricks on how to grow muscle mass, because I know it's very difficult, and growing muscle is actually a lot more difficult than losing body fat, and it does get a bit of a chore, you know, eating the amounts of food that you have to eat, and make sure when your weight is progressing in regards to your body weight, you know, if you're gaining you know, 2 kilos every now and again, you're going to have to then rework your calories out to be making sure that you're in that surplus. So a little bit of trial and error there, guys, but yeah, this is kind of like the way that I train today. That's the way that I need to train every time I'm in that gym. No matter what muscle group I'm training, it has to be hard. It has to be hard, has to be heavy, and there has to be a lot of volume. Right, okay guys, we are back from the gym now, and I just want to carry on a little bit more talking to you about, I'm not just going to talk to you about the basics of what it takes to grow muscle, but I also want to talk to you a little bit more about kind of what helps me, okay, what helps me as an individual, and some sort of tips and tricks that I think most people that are training and want to start to see results can take into their sort of own hands and really just sort of start to actually think to themselves, right, if I'm going to actually do this now, I'm going to have to make some sort of sacrifices. So guys, if you're out there and you are looking to build muscle mass, we can talk about this all day, honestly guys. There's so much stuff we can talk about, but let's just get the basics underway first, right? We know the first one is always going to be about a calorie surplus, guys. Now, there's a couple of reasons why you need to be in a calorie surplus. First reason is the obvious, okay? If you're not eating enough calories, you're not going to be able to build muscle mass, okay? We know that when we need to lose body fat, we need to be in a calorie deficit. That means basically exerting more energy than you are intaking, okay? So being in a calorie deficit. Obviously, surplus is the complete opposite. That's one reason why you need to be in a calorie surplus, is to be able to build muscle mass in the first place. The second reason as to why you need to be in a surplus is because, guys, if you're going to be trying to build muscle, if you want to build muscle, you're going to be having to lift heavy, and the workouts are going to be hard. Having the right amount of calories in your daily diet is going to be able to push you through those workouts more than you'll ever believe, okay? You can talk about pre-workout, you can talk about energy drinks. Guys, it's all about the calories. Carbohydrates are going to be your absolute best friend, guys, okay? That's going to be the body's main source of energy. If you're not getting enough calories in, if you're not getting enough carbohydrates in your diet, you're not going to have enough energy to be able to press the weight that you're looking for, or trying to press the weight that you need to press to be able to grow muscle mass. Not only that, guys, your protein intake is going to have to be high as well, okay? High protein. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is a good rule of thumb there, guys. Fats is kind of like down to you as an individual, guys. Like, I actually prefer to have more carbohydrates in my diet than I would fats. That's just me as an individual, but again, trial and error. You guys can play with it and see how you feel. You know, you can drop your carbs a little bit and up your fats, because your body can use fats as a source of energy as well. But if you're asking me, and if you're trying to build muscle, guys, and pressing some decent amount of weight, the body utilizes carbohydrates better as an energy source, if you're asking me. So I would recommend that, okay? We obviously spoke about it earlier, guys. Heavy. You need to start lifting heavy, okay? Like I just said, guys, I've been training for nearly 14 or over 14 years now, okay? I first lifted a weight up when I was 14. I'm now 29 years of age. I've been training a long time. My body has got used to certain things that I do in the gym, whether that's a certain exercise or even the weight that I'm pressing. If you start to go beyond the weights that you think your body can do, that's when you're offering a different stimulus to that muscle, that specific muscle group that you're working, albeit squats. And that's going to start to think, the body's going to start to think, Jesus, he's pressing some weight here. And that's when the body's going to take a bit more of an effect on the weight that you're pressing and actually start to grow some good muscle there. If you get those two in check, guys, if you get your nutrition down to a T and you're lifting the heavy weights, the third most important thing, guys, is consistency, okay? Listen, let's just put it out there. You're going to have to make sacrifices. You're going to have to start realizing that what it takes to actually grow muscle and how hard it is. It's not going to be an easy ride, guys. Let's just talk truth here. I'm not going to sit here today and start to say, right, it's going to be an easy journey, because nothing worth having, guys, is an easy journey. That goes for fat loss as well. It's not going to be easy, but it's actually harder to grow muscle mass than it is to lose body fat, okay? Because people can move quite a bit when they're trying to lose a bit of body fat, and life gets in the way sometimes, and they'll forget to eat or whatever. Depending on how much of a big eater you are, that's all again down to that individual. But when it comes to building muscle, guys, consistency is key. You know, if your surplus is 4,500 calories a day, you need to be consistently hitting those 4,500 calories a day for at least 12, 16 or 18 weeks. And obviously, if you're adding weight, as in body mass, if you're adding muscle, obviously you're going to be putting a little bit of body fat as well. Measure yourself, weigh yourself frequently. If your scales are going up, guys, chances are your calories are going to have to go up, okay? And then how you do that and how you manipulate your calories and your macros is down to you as an individual. Protein always stays the same, okay? So protein always stays at 1 gram per pound of body weight. So it doesn't stay the same in regards to grams, as in, like, say if you're on 200 grams, you're going to be on 200 grams at the end. That's not how it works. If you're a 220 pound or 230 pound guy, you're going to be need to getting 230 grams of protein in per day as well, guys. Okay, so that's the calculations for that. Obviously, carbs, fats, down to you as an individual, but you're going to have to start upping your calories, and then where your calories come from, albeit carbs, fats, protein, that's down to you. If you need help with that, guys, you know I have my online coaching academy. I actually got a free calorie calculator on my website, which you guys can use. And I'll put the link in the description for that as well, which is absolutely free, guys. Literally, it will just instantly give you your calories. It won't give you your macros, but it'll give you your calories, and then you can chop up your macros onto that. So yeah, guys, we talk about those three things. We talk about those three things a lot when you're an online coach or a personal trainer. But there's a couple of things I've actually written down here that we don't actually talk about a lot. And now, I'll be honest with you, this is just from going from my personal experience, and how even as much as so since the last lockdown, and how I've come out of it, and how I'm more motivated than ever to sort of get to my goal and get to where I want to get to. There's three things that have really helped me, and I'll be honest with you, these are kind of like more psychological things than they are scientifically proven. But having said that, it's working for me in a way that I think, well, it's kind of obvious it's going to help me. So the first one, guys, is you're going to have to invest in some accessories. If you're pressing heavy weights, guys, whether it's a chest press, bench press, squats, your body's going to take, it's going to take its toll on its body at some point. So obviously keeping the nutrition high and the rest, the good amount of sleep, protein intake high, that is all going to help. But guys, things such as knee sleeves, elbow sleeves, knee straps, whatever you want to use in that regard. I like to use sleeves. I use straps today, as you saw from the video, because I actually forgot my sleeves and had to use my mate's straps. Kind of like them, they're pretty cool. You can get them a bit tighter. So obviously when you're doing sleeves, they're going to start to be like more, they're going to like stretch a little bit and be loose. But guys, maybe it's a psychological thing, but I know I've had bad knees in the past. I've had an ACL injury, I've had a complete fully reconstruction of that knee on my left knee, so I'm always a bit wary of it. But when I've got knee sleeves on, I feel more protected. I feel like I can press more weight. I feel like it's going to be okay. So psychologically, that's already setting me up and putting me in the right mindset for being able to have a decent set on, say, squats, leg presses, or whatever it is I'm doing. It already puts me in that right mindset. If I'm going into this without energy, without sleeves, it's already ruined my mindset. So that really helps me. The second thing that I always think as well, guys, my session today, I was training with 2 other people, so there's 3 of us, okay? So it's a big session, it took about 2 hours. Guys, I don't care what anyone says. If you're getting into your training, right, and you're doing well and you're feeling pretty good, go by how you feel on the day. So, for instance, if your workout is only set up in times and you're going to just leave after a certain time, guys, you're not going to get anywhere. Just go by what you want to achieve and what you want to do in that workout. So if it takes you 2 hours, it takes you 2 hours. And it's not about how quick you get the workout done. Yes, that workout took me 2 hours today, but there was 3 of us training and we're lifting heavy weights, guys. So we're not supersetting everything. We're doing drop sets and everything else, but we're having a lot of rest in between, up to 3 minutes sometimes in between, because we need to allow our body to have enough rest in between the exercises that we're doing or the sets that we're doing to be able to up the weight and press a decent amount of weight and have the resistance there. So go by seeing how you feel. Like for instance, say if you're going to go for a bench press and you're feeling pretty strong today, and you did 120 last week or whatever, and you just done 115 and it went up really easy, and you think, I've got a lot in the tank here. Try 125. If that felt good, go again. Go again. If you're feeling good on that day, fucking use it and take that energy and just get it out of the way and get it done. Because there's days where I've lifted 150 bench before, guys, and the other day I thought, right, I'm going to do this today, I'm going to feel good. I put 120 on the bar and it felt stupidly heavy. I didn't feel good that day, so I left it. If I was feeling good, I would have gone a bit higher. So go by how you feel along the day. That super helps me as well. And then sometimes I'll actually have my best sessions when I don't feel like feel like I'm training that much. So that's always a good one as well. Also, another one, like I just said there, 2 hours of training, guys. You're going to need to refuel yourself during that session. Now, I don't mean you have to walk around with a flipping pot of chicken and rice in your hand 24/7, but EAAs, essential amino acids, or something like any sort of amino acids, really. When you're training, guys, you're going to be utilizing a lot of energy, okay? That's going to be depleted a little bit. Making sure you're upping that within your workouts is going to have a massive effect on the way that you finish your start your training and you finish your training. Because when you're getting towards the end of your session, guys, and it's super tough, you're going to need a decent amount of sort of feeling like, again, psychological. Guys, we all know supplements are there to supplement a diet and your nutrition. So if your nutrition's on point, then fine, but I would still recommend EAAs while you're training. It just, again, psychologically feels like, because you're taking something, you feel like you're in the right mindset. And mindset is everything when it comes to training, guys. My last point, one that always helps me, guys, I am the most energetic guy all over my Instagram, all over my social media, even on my YouTube. I'm so energized all the time, you know. Ellie, my girlfriend, is always going on about how I'm so motivated, so energy. I've got way too much energy all the time, and I don't know what it is. It's probably because I train a lot and I feel good about myself and I love helping people out. You know, I've got hundreds of online clients and this just gives me life. I'm super energized, I'm super motivated. But one of the things that really helps me, if there is a time where I'm not feeling so motivated, but even if I am feeling motivated, I still do this. I watch YouTube, I watch documentaries, guys. I even watched Ronnie Coleman's documentary last night. Now I know that's a different end of the spectrum, guys. The guy is an absolute animal. He's 8-time, you know, Mr. Olympia, for God's sake. That I ain't even looking to get anywhere near that. But what it is I delve into something like that guy's mindset to be able to achieve what he wanted to achieve. Now I'm going to the gym thinking about Ronnie Coleman being Mr. Olympia and what he had to sacrifice. It's just a psychological thing. It's not actually going to help me lift more, but mindset, again, like I just spoke about, guys, if I'm in the right mindset of that training session I'm about to go and do, 9 times out of 10, or probably 10 times out of 10, I'm getting a better session in, okay? And 100%, guys. So those sort of things, I hope this helps you guys. Honestly, you might think I'm talking a bit of waffle here, but trust me, guys, sort it out, sort out your training, sort out your nutrition, do some little things like that. Along the way, you'll actually learn a bit more about yourself and a bit more about how you can sort of implement these sort of things into your day-to-day life to be able to get the right training and the right nutrition in, and you're gonna have better results coming your way. Guys, honestly, I'm gonna wrap up this video here because I know I've spoken a lot here, but I just wanted to give you guys a bit more of a sort of unedited, cleaner insight to what it is that I do that helps me, and I hope this really helps you guys. Guys, please make sure you give this video a like. I know we all bang on about it, us YouTubers go on about, please give the video a thumbs up. It's not an ego thing, guys. You know, quite frankly, normally I'd say I couldn't care how many likes I get on a social media post, but with YouTube, guys, if YouTube see that my videos are getting liked, what happens is they then start chucking my video out there to other people, and it's seen by more people. And if it's seen by more people, then potentially I'm helping more people, and that is what it's all about here on my channel. Guys, if you want any more information about things like this, or even my online coaching, I'm gonna list everything in the description below. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this all helped you out, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Take care.